guys, it's Jess. Welcome and welcome back to the Not Carrie Bradshaw YouTube channel / podcast. I am struggling today to come up with podcast topics. I have been trying to take notes, make notes since we last spoke, and it feels like the well is just dry. I was very close to just giving up and saying maybe it just won't happen this week, but I promised myself going into this year that I would be consistent with this podcast. I said that I owed it to myself to just give it a solid year of like really putting my all, really putting in my effort, reaching out to get interesting guests and push myself to talk about things that I might not be comfortable talking about, not overthinking it. Like I just really wanted to say, let's give it a year and let's go from there. And, if after a year I'm still not enjoying it, maybe I just, don't do this part of content. So that's what I went into this year promising myself and some interested parties, right? This is the first time this year, so we made it to March 24th. This is the first time this year that I have felt like, oh no, this just might not be it. My numbers are not good. My views are not great. So I'm feeling discouraged anyway. And it just feels like nobody cares. But I promised myself that I would do this, so something is better than nothing. Done is better than not done. I would rather do something slightly imperfect than not do anything at all. So this week is just going to be a story time. I don't know if I have ever told this story on the podcast. I definitely haven't told it on the YouTube channel. I am going to change all of the names, but this is the absolute craziest night that I spent in New York. I was just talking about it with one of my coworkers today, and he was like, I feel like somebody put a root on you. Like, the shit that happened in this night, it was like, did the planets misalign in a very specific, it was absolutely insane. So let's just get into it. So I have been in New York now for, I think, 12 years. So this story happened during my first year here. I moved here to go to FIT. I could not afford even student housing. And then I was like 26 at the time. So I was like, I don't even really want to live in student housing. So about a month before it was time for me to leave, I called my line sister and I was like, girl, I know you live in Jersey. Can I sleep on your couch? She was like, absolutely. We have to talk about how that went another day. That's another conversation for another day. So I was sleeping on a couch in South Plainfield, New Jersey, when I first moved here. So y'all, I really I paid my dues to be here, right? So another associate from college was like, hey, I know you're, in New York or, in New Jersey. I'm going to be going out of town for a couple of weeks. Do you want to stay at my place in Harlem? I was like, oh my God, absolutely. Because South Plainfield, New Jersey is so deep in Jersey. Like my commute just to get to and from class was so, like, I just basically had to leave the house when my line sister left the house and come back to that train station when she got off work. So whether I liked it or not, my day started when her day started and ended when her day ended. I was so reliant on her, and I thank God that she showed up for me like that. But it was, as a person who really likes to come and go on my own volition, this shit was hard. So I jumped at this opportunity to be able to actually like stay in the city for 2 weeks. Like it was a dream. So I'm in Harlem, and my former co-host Nikki lived in Harlem. So we were like, oh my God, let's go out this weekend. Mind you, me and her are both like broke, like objectively broke. And we were like, oh, let's go to Everyday People. This was back when Everyday People was like a smaller thing. It was at this place called the DL, not that DL, on the Lower East Side. It was so much fun. It was like the day party of all day parties. It was so packed. It was so many like cool people there. I feel like the floor always felt like it was going to sink in. It was like brunch, but we never got there for brunch because we couldn't afford brunch. And we could maybe afford like one drink and hope that somebody else would like buy us a drink. It was just, you know, hard times, but it was so much fun. So Nikki's phone dies. We're like, okay, let's just go to the Apple store where you could like charge your phone for free. So we're hanging out at the Apple store on like Fifth Avenue. And Nikki gets a call from a friend once her phone comes back on. And they were like, come to Chinatown. You know, like me and some friends are going to go out. We're like, okay, we've not hung out in Chinatown before. So just before we get there, Nikki's friend texts her like, hey, just FYI, there are drugs up here. So we're like, honey, a little marijuana never hurt anybody. We don't care. So we get to Chinatown, and this is to this day, if you paid me, I couldn't take you back to where I was. I don't know where it was. It feels like a fever dream, like some sort of a fantasy that we were ever there. Like, what was this place? It looked like the Chinatown that you see in movies. It looked like the New York that you see in movies. It was like a back alley type. It was very grungy, I'll say that. So this person lived at the very top of this building over like a massage parlor. That could be anywhere in Chinatown. That's everywhere in Chinatown, right? And the stairs were like metal. Like it looked like if you fell, that was gonna be it. You weren't gonna recover from that fall. And they were so steep. So I'm like, girl, where we about to go? So we get to this apartment. Now when we walk in, I see that the roommate has a hairless cat. I am not a fan of cats. Cats freak me out. I am always surprised that cats are domesticated because overwhelmingly cats don't seem to like us, need us, want us, right? A hairless cat? I know they say God don't make no mistakes, but that might be it right there. Now, Nikki, my beloved co-host, is very, very jumpy, okay? Nikki once threw me into a fence because she saw a rat scurrying from trash. I didn't know why Nikki pushed me. I thought someone was chasing us. To this day, she's saying that she was getting me out of the path of the rat. But I was like, girl, you just low-key beat my ass, right? So I don't call attention to this hairless cat because I don't want Nikki to freak out in these people's apartments. But it's a hairless cat. Why do you have that? And the roommate seems so nice. So we're just like, hi. So we go into where Nikki's friend is. Y'all, we walk into this room and it is a comical amount of booger sugar on the table. Comical amount. Like, think about Scarface, like the last scene in Scarface, where it's like, girl, can't nobody, you know, and let me be super clear. I'm 37 years old. This was not my first time seeing booger sugar, as I used to know people who were into the street pharmaceuticals. This was my first time seeing people use booger sugar. I had never seen no shit like that in my life. I didn't know up until that point that I was sheltered. And it was like 4 or 5 people from affluent places. And I'm telling Nikki telepathically, like with our eye, like me and Nikki are such good close friends. I don't believe in best friends, but if I had a best friend, it would probably be Nikki. She's like my favorite person to do like anything with. If I became fantastically wealthy right now and could just like travel the world doing random stuff, I would call Nikki first. I would call Nikki after I call my mama. Like, well, and my sister Ty, because she would have to tell me what to do with my taxes. But anyway, so this was the perfect person for this to happen with, because I can talk to Nikki with my eyes, with my mind. And I'm looking at her like, bitch, do not freak out. Don't make these cokeheads uncomfortable. Because we listen and we don't judge, right? So me and Nikki looking at each other like, bitch. And I'm like, bitch. So they're like, they offer us some. And we're like, no, thank you. And they're like, are you sure? Baby, let me tell you something. I am sure that I don't want to do booger sugar for a couple of reasons. Number one, Dare worked on me really well. All I had to do was show me a person that was strung out on drugs. And I said, absolutely not. I never want to look bad. So you ain't got to worry about me. That's number one. Number two, from what I gather, booger sugar is for people who can afford it. That's an expensive habit. I come from the kind of family where I'm going to have to immediately transition to crack. I can't be out here. Am I sure that I don't want to bump? Absolutely. That's going to incur a huge lifestyle change for me. To be able to afford that habit, babe, I can't even afford a cab home. Absolutely not. So we watch these people do a comical amount of booger sugar, and I'm waiting for somebody to like wow out, be different, start the Dare program. I'm thinking you about to be on one, and everyone was so normal, which freaked me out. So then it was like, okay guys, let's get ready to go to the discotheque. Such and such is gonna meet us there. So me and Nikki, we're just along for the ride, right? As we are walking out, Nikki sees the hairless cat and basically almost jumps into my arms. And I'm like, baby, you gotta calm down, because we don't want to spook the cokeheads. Like, I don't know how people usually act. I don't know if they're going to be jumpy. I'm trying to be a nice guest, because I'm a guest of a guest of a guest. Hey, chill out. Keep it together. Tighten up. Okay. So we get in our collective Ubers or whatever. And the people that we were with, the girls were not friendly. Nikki and I, if you've ever had the pleasure of being in our company, we're a vibe. We're a really good time. Like, most people meet us and love us. And we're both Leos, so I think that we also kind of feel a little bit of a way when people don't meet us and immediately love us. It's the Leo. Mind you, I'm used to being disliked. You can imagine, right? So I'm like, these girls are not friendly. Is it the booger sugar? So we get to this disco. Again, I can't tell you where I was. If you paid me, I could not tell you where I was. Especially because, like I said, I lived on a couch in South Plainfield, New Jersey. I commuted from South Plainfield, New Jersey to FIT, like to campus and back. That was really it. I didn't have a lot of time to like explore the city how I wanted to my first year here. I would have like a random excursion, but in general, I didn't really know how to take the subway or anything. Like, everything was so new to me. Like, I was so green in the city. So I can't even tell you what borough we were in. So we get to this discotheque and we're in this section, and it's just like trust fund kids. Like, there's a certain vibe that trust fund kids have. And so this guy is like, okay, who's all doing Molly? Nikki, bitch, where we at? And like, Nikki and I, again, we listen and we don't judge. I am not judging people for partaking as long as everyone is safe and responsible in the things. But it was just like, baby, where we at? What is going on? So I'm like, so these people done did booger sugar. Now they're about to do this. Is somebody going OD? Like, I feel like they were going hard. Then there was bottle service. And I'm like, I'll just take a vodka soda. I'll just take a vodka soda. Like, I am not engaging in the thing. So we're sitting there and we're just like, everybody's normal. It was like nothing had happened. So I'm like, do people, this was when it became so clear to me that people who indulge in that dwell among us. Like, they're around us all the time, and you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. So I finally decide, at this point, it's like, let's say 3 a.m. And I'm like, I need to make my way back to Harlem because I don't know where I am. Now, these days, baby, I'm taking a car home. If the sun is down, I'm taking a car home, okay? So I'm like, Nikki, I'm about to do it. I had to find my way to the subway. That was an adventure in and of itself. Now, at the time, I didn't know that there's an east side of Harlem and a west side of Harlem. I was staying on the west side of Harlem. The trains were shut down at this hour, so I could only come up on the east side of Harlem. Now, when I was on the train, let's say I find the train, it's around 3:30, 3:45 a.m. because I have a horrible, horrible sense of direction. Horrible sense of direction. It's gotten better, but in general, baby, I never know where I'm going. If the directions say go northwest on the corner, you've already lost me. Don't give me no cardinal directions. I'm not that girl, and I probably need to learn how to use a compass and the things because we don't know what's about to happen, but I have a horrible sense of direction. So I'm on the train finally, and there are some girly pops on the train who have found some trade. The trade is trying to act like he's not with the girly pops, but it's like, baby, I clearly know you are. But I'm just minding my business. This ain't my business. Y'all do y'all thing. I support you from afar. I'm an ally. I ain't in nobody's business. Do you, sisters? So then this person that it occurred to me the day after was possibly a human trafficker starts propositioning me. And I'm like, sir, after the evening that I've had, unless you trying to get unalived, you might want to back up away from me. Like, I'm not in the mood. I already don't like to be approached or perceived by men who I'm not interested in. So I really, like, at this hour, I need you to get away from me. I have been up for so long. I'm so tired. I don't know where I'm going. The train at this point has been stalled for like 15 minutes. That's a long time. To be on the subway and it's not moving, 5 minutes is a long time for that. 15 minutes is a stretch. So I finally come up on the east side of Harlem. Y'all, my phone is on like 20%. I get up at the subway. I'm in front of a Popeyes. The Popeyes is jumping. The club was jumping. The Popeyes was jumping. I'm like, bro, where am I? Now, in retrospect, I was merely a couple avenues over from where I was supposed to be. But I'm going to tell you what made that really hard to perceive. It starts raining. Like torrential, like pouring down rain. And I'm like, why hath thou forsaken me? Okay, I don't have any money. My phone is on 20%. It's now like in the red part of the percentage. And I'm like, how do I get home? If I just start walking, I don't know what I'm walking into. It's raining. I don't have no umbrella. If I go in this Popeyes, I might not come out because the way that, let me tell you the vibe of the Popeyes. It didn't look like a safe, warm, welcoming, inviting Popeyes. It looked like, why is this Popeyes open at 3:45 a.m. in the morning? Does the corporation know that it's open? Are y'all supposed to be open? And it looked like the portal to another dimension might have been in the back of that Popeyes. Like, it was questionable. So I wasn't finna go in there. So in my confusion, which you never want to do, is look confused in this kind of situation. You don't want to look like you don't know what you're doing because then you look green. You look like somebody who can be taken advantage of. And that's what I look like. So, unsurprising to anyone, a toothless man comes up and offers to get me a dollar van. Now, dollar vans are like unsanctioned cabs throughout the city. There's a lot of them in Flatbush. Like, it's random people who, yeah, it's like, you know, a little dollar car service, a little dollar van. Like, it's a thing that some people feel safe doing. I never felt safe doing it. So this toothless man offers to get me a dollar van. I'm like, sir, no thank you. Because it's not just that he was toothless. His whole vibe was giving very much, hey, baby, you know, hey, da-da-da. What I was going to have to do for this dollar van, I don't want to know. I wasn't interested. I wasn't going to do it. Because, again, I will try to find a way to unalive you before I end up in a basement. One of my main goals in life is just to not end up in a basement or a freezer in a basement. It's just one of my main goals in life. So it's always like every decision that I make, is this going to land me in a basement, right? Chained into something. It's like one of my greatest fears, right? So I'm like, you know, no thank you. This man cussed me out so bad, y'all. This man was like, now see, if I had been a white man offering you that, you would have took it. And that's what's wrong with you black bitches, that. All right. I just start walking away from this gentleman into the pouring rain. And I just said, God, wherever I'm walking towards, just let me be safe. And when I tell you, Sky Daddy heard my prayer, because I look up and I see a Catholic church. And what's in front of the Catholic church? A yellow cab. I get in that yellow cab. And I use the last like 15% on my phone to log into my mama's online banking and transfer enough money from her account to my account to pay for that cab. And I got home to my homegirl's Harlem apartment and I slept for like 12 hours. Because what was that day? What was that day? And to this day, it's just been rainbows and sunshine after that. So I feel like I paid my New York dues with that one psychotic evening. That's really all I have. Oh my God, do y'all remember that song on that Lil Wayne mixtape? That's all I have. I was dangerously close to not being consistent, to not recording anything, which is why I am in full makeup and a robe. It looks like I'm about to shoot a flick. I came home and gave up on this day. But then I said, no. So I used what energy I had to just sit down and record. I did not have the energy to put on a top. So I'm in a very nice robe. This was a bridesmaid's gift. Shouts out to the bride who got me this. I don't know if she wants to be shouted out, but thank you. You know who you are. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tuning in. For those of you who do tune in, thank you. I appreciate you so much. I never want to be one of those people that doesn't appreciate the people who do show up because you want a bigger audience. I'm so grateful for the audience I have, even if it's only 3 of y'all. Thank you to the 3 of y'all. I will be back on time. I am committed. I am here. Be sure to like and comment and share and rate and review and do all of the things. And join the Patreon. And if you have any ideas for exclusive content that is not of a sexual nature that you would like to see on the Patreon, let me know. I'm open to ideas, and I will talk to you guys soon.